Have you ever been told that you have an annoying speaking or singing voice? Maybe when you were a kid, you loved to sing, but then your choir teacher told you to zip it. Or worse, maybe they kicked you out of the choir altogether. Ouch. Or perhaps your mum kept on telling you to be quiet because your voice was so loud and annoying. I've heard all of these stories before, and they negatively impact the way that we speak and sing. Why? Because then we adjust the way we sound to please others. And that leaves us with tension patterns and a much less attractive natural sound. So today we're going to fix all that with some very simple voice exercises that will help your voice sound more beautiful and attractive. Stick around. Q&A Tuesday, all your voice questions answered. Hi, I'm 𝒂𝒗𝒆, founder of the Voice of Confidence public speaker training course. And today we're talking about the aesthetics of vocal sound and how to make your voice sound more attractive and beautiful. Now you might be wondering, what does it matter? Well, here are 3 reasons why the sound of our voice is actually really extremely important. Number 1, as a business owner, if you're selling a product or service, the nicer you sound, the more people relax and the longer that they'll listen to you. And this really helps with the know, like, and trust factor. Let's face it, if they listen to you longer, that's going to get you more clients. Number 2, as a business speaker in the corporate world, if people love the way that you sound when you're presenting in a meeting, same thing. Your peers and colleagues can listen to you longer, meaning that you'll be able to take more of a leadership role inside your organization and find it easier to climb up that corporate ladder. Number 3, in your personal life, an attractive voice makes you actually seem more approachable and open to members of the opposite sex, especially if there's nothing grating or annoying to the way that you speak. And let's face it, if we're going to find a life partner, we better love the way that they sound. Otherwise, how are you going to spend the next 30 years together listening to a voice that you hate? Ooh! So let's dive in. Here are 3 things that you can do to make your voice sound more attractive. Number 1, eliminate throat tension. Now, believe it or not, muscles in the throat are not required for a beautiful speaking or singing voice. In fact, we actually need them to get out of the way, but many people just don't know how. Some of my students sound like a strangled cat when they first learn these exercises, simply because they've got too much tension. And this is the exercise that I want you to try now along with me. We're going to take a very deep breath and yawn and feel the throat muscles open up and get out of the way. Now, I want you to make a sound at the same time, an R sound like this. Ah. Do it with me. Are you ready? Ah. Now see if you can make a clean, open, and free sound, not a strangled cat sound like this. Ah. If you do it properly together, ah, nice open R sound all the way down, you'll feel open, relaxed, and free. When you can get a beautiful free sound, try practicing the other vowels as well. Ah, A, E, O, U. Not A, E, O. You don't want any strangled sound to your throat. It will feel very uncomfortable and certainly not relaxed and free. Number 2, back off the volume 50%. Now, many people get triggered by loud noises, and this can make it really hard for speakers to win friends and influence people. By speaking too loudly, you're actually not being mindful or conscious about how you're affecting the other people around you. So if you've been told to turn it down a notch, don't take it personally, just back off the volume. I call it the 50% discount rule. Now simply back off the volume and the effort required to speak by 50%. When you were little, you might have heard your mother call it your inside voice. When you're projecting and speaking to large crowds, however, by all means ramp it up. You need the energy to reach the back of the room. But when you're on a Zoom call or a small meeting or even a date, keep it down. Use your inside voice and think of smoothing over the sounds with a bit of finesse and eloquence rather than beating someone's ears to death. You'll make a much better impression if you speak clearly, mindfully, and calmly rather than being too loud or too harsh. Number 3, the secret sauce. A researcher found during a recent study that there was a simple trick to sounding less aggressive or annoying to your listeners, and that was to simply call up a relaxed smile before you speak. In this study of voice attractiveness in speakers, they found that listeners rate a smiling speaker as being much more likable and attractive over the phone. Surprisingly, a happy voice was actually preferred over an assertive one in both females and males. Now, when you're smiling, however, don't overdo it. No, and use too many facial muscles because that'll make you sound fake or tense, and your voice is going to get fatigued very fast, purely because you're using too much tension when you speak. So let's try a test together now, shall we? Let's take out your phone, and I want you to record the following phrase with no smile. Thank you for calling. It's nice to hear from you. Okay, now let's try the same phrase with a smile first. Thank you for calling. It's nice to hear from you. Do you notice that one with the smile actually sounds brighter and more likable? So try re-recording your voicemail with a smile and see what sort of response that you get from your colleagues and your friends. I hope you found this helpful today. If you did, make sure you check out the other videos on my channel and don't forget to subscribe below and hit the bell so you don't miss another video. See you next time.